Welcome back to episode number
Six.
five,
Six.
six. Yes,
Yep, it's
episode
happening.
number six
We
of
have forgotten.
Sonic. Yeah,
Yes, a lot of
it's
episodes, man.
inevitable to happen.
We've been doing this for
Well, we
six
have
weeks.
been consistent for more than month, more
Yeah,
than a month.
this is
Yeah,
exactly a month and a half now of Sonic Surge, and we have 17 subscribers. Two more since last
it,
video.
it दो hey, दो बढ़
Let's
गए.
go.
Nice,
भाई
and we
लिटरली
have not
हर
even
वीडियो में
been
दो बढ़
posting
रहे
our shorts super
हैं.
late.
It's wild, but
Nice
सही है.
consistency, but
Yes.
we need to put shorts
Yeah.
also, जो हम नहीं
And
कर रहे हैं.
if you're watching this video, there's a
To
good
be honest,
chance.
we both of us are very busy.
Yeah, I mean, there's a good chance that there are shorts up by the time you're watching this video because बात तो हम कर रहे हैं पिछले 2 हफ्ते से
Yeah,
कि तू शॉर्ट्स एडिट करेगा नहीं मैं शॉर्ट्स एडिट करूंगा हो नहीं रहे. That's a different story, but we'll get there.
because you are busy with your rehearsals and I'm busy with my classes because now I have more classes in the day and I'm always exhausted.
Wild.
And you
Yeah,
are
I
also
can tell.
busy the whole time.
Dude, when I'm not busy, then I get busy. Find ways to stay
Exactly. We need
occupied.
an editor, I think. We need an editor.
आज तो पॉडकास्ट के बिगिनिंग में हाइड्रेशन ब्रेक हो गया मस्त. Nice. But yeah, we need an editor
Nice.
and we need an editor that we can vibe with. So if you're an editor and you are willing to work for completely free,
Free.
हम बीच बीच में
Reach out to us.
हम महीने में एक दो बार खाना भेज देंगे आपको. रीच आउट कर लो.
हाँ.
और खाना भी भाई क्या भेजूंगा मैं भेजूंगा ये
हाँ.
महीने में एक दो बार मैं ये भेज दूंगा आपको. आप हमारे वीडियोस एडिट कर लो.
Why?
But yes,
But yeah,
until then,
that is what is up.
we'll just be swapping editor duties every couple of weeks.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure
Yeah.
it out somehow.
So, how's it
I might
going?
just stay up late someday.
I mean, we are going to have to. I'm doing that
Good,
every time
pretty
we
good right
record.
now.
So, what are we talking about today?
Okay, so yes, I have few things which have been going on right now. First thing, Keanu Reeves joined Toyota as a professional
Yes,
car racing
sir.
driver
Berserker in the
in
GR86 Cup.
the Toyota GR Cup, yeah,
Yeah.
the GR Cup. So that
He had
is
his
a
first
cool
race too.
news, which because I look up to the guy.
Majorly, bro.
Yeah, he has had his first race, and he finished 25th out of 35th, five people. Yeah,
That's not bad.
but it's good. Like he is something which is he's someone which is a very cool dude, and I look up to. And he's also very passionate about motorsports in general.
Yeah, I've been
And the best thing is he's 60 years old, by he's 60
exactly.
years old.
Like I've been following his stuff, and my parents have been following his stuff before I was even born. So I've grown up with Keanu Reeves just in my vicinity. Like my parents were obsessed with The Matrix when I was a baby.
Yeah.
So that has been
Hmm.
part of my whole upbringing. Just seeing him be interested in the same shit that I am interested in. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I love my Toyotas, dude. I don't own any right now, but soon enough. हम हैं देसी Toyota Tata.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude. GR
Tata
Cup.
nahi, it's Suzuki more.
Don't even, bro. Yeah, I mean, okay. Here's the thing. My family, there is a Toyota, there's two Toyotas still in my family. देखा जाए तो but I don't see them as Toyotas. Those are Suzuki
Mm,
cars. Those are not Toyota cars.
yeah.
तो ब्रेजा को रीबैच जितना भी कर दो, वो अर्बन क्रूजर नहीं है, वो ब्रेजा ही है. That's my views on this.
Other than that, so हमने genuinely because we have been trying to get guests, so we have not made an like a very good update of what's been going on in the market
And there's a lot
right
going
now.
on.
So I wanted to just yeah, there is a lot of things going on. The first thing which I wanted to talk about, which happened like quite a while ago, was the R9 and the R3.
Yes, sir.
So
We
we
both have
have
thoughts
got the
on this.
R9 now.
We both have thoughts on this. I feel like we're going to have different opinions on this bike.
Maybe. So what I think is a really cool bike, but definitely can't replace the R1, but I really like the bike. Its design is a bit iffy, like I don't really like the winglet kind
Of
of thing
course.
which they have going on.
Of course.
Looks bit like I understand the concept of it, but it's literally it looks ugly on that bike.
Fair.
It really doesn't suit it. But I feel like it's a cool bike. So what Yamaha has done is they have made a kind of two different ways of a biker goes through a path of motorcycles like from 125 to like 200s or like 300, then like they go to 500s or 600s,
Yes. Also
then
for
they go into
Americans,
liter class
yes,
bikes.
yes, there are bikes that are smaller than your 500s. You are very privileged in America. You're like, huh, these are baby motorcycles. No, no. In a lot of places in the world, we're
They
not
are not.
allowed to ride bikes bigger than that make more power than 47 bhp until what, you're 24. And in other
Yeah,
places, we can't afford
yeah,
those bikes.
two.
So fuck you.
And yeah, so I think what Yamaha has done it has made a good pathway with the R7 and the R9 now,
Yeah,
because it's not as loud as the R1, and it is still, I think, better than the R6. Maybe. I don't
okay,
know
so
that for sure,
we have
but
some
because
differing
R6
takes.
is still very powerful.
R6 is the OG.
R6 is still
Right?
very much
R6
powerful.
is till this day, even though it's been
Yeah,
discontinued, the best 600cc super sport around, period. There is no way to replace that bike.
definitely,
They
definitely.
tried replacing it with the R7. It did
Mm.
not fucking work because the R7 is in no way a replacement for the
Could
R6.
not.
Now R9 is apparently, supposedly replacing the R6 in the market, but it can't make that replacement in people's hearts, which I understand. It's a completely different
Yeah.
platform. R6 is four cylinders, this is three, but it does make similar
Mm.
power figures.
So that's what I'm saying. That Yamaha has made two pathways.
Yeah,
That R6 and R1 and R7 and R9.
yes,
It's up to you which you choose, because all of the four bikes are completely different. Like
yeah,
these bikes can't replace each other at all.
yeah.
And I don't know why Yamaha has done that. Because it's very confusing.
The R6 is not gonna
Why?
be produced anymore. They have officially announced that R6 is dead
Why?
because
Why do that? It's
emissions.
stupid.
Emissions.
You can make a better engine by you can
Yeah,
make the engine better.
but you can also just put less cylinders
Tune
in
it.
it. You can also just put less cylinders and make the cylinders slightly bigger.
Ah, fucking
That's something I
shit,
don't like
man.
about it. But I actually, the concept of an R9, I really enjoy, specifically considering the kind of pricing that they're going at with this. So with where they priced it, this
Yeah,
isn't
because
competing with your liter class at all. Yeah,
No,
it's
not
competing
at
with your
all.
600cc
It's
Super
it's
Sports.
more towards, I would not even say that, because according to me, it's still competing with the something which would be like the Z900.
Z900 as well, yes. Yeah,
Z900 MTO9. But the thing is, they have made the bike with fairing.
exactly.
But their competition is that.
Yeah. If there were Ninja
And
900, I
I,
think that would be the competition. The comparison that
yeah,
I draw is to the Daytona. Even though less cc,
exactly what I was going to
three
say.
cylinders make similar power
Why
figures and
Daytona is way powerful.
torque.
Way powerful.
The torque though that you
Yes.
and the power delivery of a three-cylinder bike. So it has all of the pros of the Daytona 675 era and none of
Mm,
the cons of the Daytona 660. So for people that really want
yeah.
three-cylinder super sport and they don't want to go with the MV Agusta wala route, the way to go for it
Why?
exactly पैसा का issue but R9
Yeah.
is in my opinion the pinnacle
R9
of
is a good option for those
three-cylinder
people.
super sport motorcycles. Speaking for myself,
Yeah.
I really like three-cylinder engines. uh, be it in cars or bikes, there is good value to them. Of course, in the world of cars, they're not being utilized properly. Right? In Indian market, we have three-cylinder engines
Hmm.
because they're cheaper to manufacture and they are low on emissions.
Yeah.
But if you put the thought into making those engines perform well, you get something like Triumph triples, and you get something like Toyota's triples that they're now putting in the GR Corolla and the GR86 and cars like that. Those are
Yeah.
all three-cylinder engines. So there's good value to it, but I really want to see them carry through with the project despite public backlash. Because there's two categories of people that are
Hmm.
pissed at the R9 that I'm seeing online. It's not good enough to compete with liter class, and it can't replace the R6. People
Yeah.
need to realize that they're not trying to do either of these. R9 is its own product.
Yeah. That's what I'm seeing, because a lot of people hate the bike for some reason.
Doesn't make
And
sense.
they're basically saying that it's MTO9 with fairings.
But the problem, Kevin, none of these people have ridden the motorcycle. हमने भी नहीं चलाई है, ठीक है. But none of these people have ridden the bike. How can you hate something you haven't even sat on?
I think people just really want the R6 and R1 to come back. That is all what they want, and they are just not getting it. So they are hating the things which Yamaha is making now.
देखो, if you want an R1, your option is go live in
And
America. वहाँ पे मिल रही है. And if you want to ride an R1 the way it's supposed to be ridden, go to Europe and take the track bike, man.
good.
It's fine. You'll it will
Yeah.
suck. But तुम्हें R1 चाहिए तो तुम्हारे ये दो routes हैं. Yamaha has said this. Get the race bike in Europe, get the street bike in America.
And to be honest, India में grey market करा सकते हो both the bikes. I have seen them.
They are there.
It's very much possible.
It's doable, and the old R1s are still around in our scene. Like there's
They're
gen
around, yeah.
first generation
Old R1s are there.
R1s that are in Delhi, bro.
I've seen them.
Bro,
Yeah, I've seen that. Throttle shuttle के आसपास घूमती है भाई.
exactly. And if you know Gods, the riding group Gods, their founder Arun
Yeah,
Kareja,
yeah.
I think, he has a first gen R1 along with like 25 other super bikes. But he has a fucking R1, the Gen 1. So these bikes are still there.
Mm.
If you want them, if you really want the R1 or the R6, go second hand. That is the best way to get it. India is difficult to get them second hand
Yeah,
because people that have them don't want to sell them. And the people that are selling them are usually selling them because उस bike में कोई problem आ गई. There's no one being like, oh, I'm going to something better.
definitely.
There is not much better. But
Nothing is better there.
if you're abroad in Europe or in America or in some parts of Asia, it is very, very easy to get your hands on an R1 or an R6.
Yeah.
So yeah, go for those if that's really what you
And
want. But the future has the R9 and the R7 and R1 as a race bike. R1 will still always exist as the flagship. This Yamaha themselves said. We Even though it does not make sense to have an R1 in the lineup of street sport bikes, we will always have an R1 because that is the flag
mm,
bearer of our lineup. There is an R1 that will be used as the example as the pinnacle of Yamaha. Because they now they're not even going
yeah.
to have inline force in their MotoGP bike coming in the next couple of years. They're moving to a V4 platform.
Yeah, because they are start because basically Yamaha has realized that inline four is not working at all in MotoGP,
Exactly.
and they have actually partnered with what is the name of the company? So there is the company which Jorge Martin races for right now, which is currently working with Ducati, but they are next year they are partnering with Yamaha. And basically they have gotten Yamaha has gotten a new sponsor, and they are working on a new engine, and they might change that. And if that works, so we can see Japanese bikes making a comeback in MotoGP
Yeah. And
other than Ducatis.
if I'm not mistaken, I believe that Suzuki also has V4s in MotoGP now, specifically for their
Suzuki
MotoGP
does
bike.
not even exist in MotoGP now.
Are you shitting me?
Suzuki is not there at all.
Where did I hear this then?
They may be making a comeback. I don't know about that, but
Okay.
Suzuki's are not there at all in.
Okay, Suzuki left
Yeah.
MotoGP in 2022. My bad. That is sad.
Hmm.
Okay, cool. I stand corrected then. But there are Japanese
And
motorcycles apart from Yamaha and Honda, or are those the only two?
Honda and Yamaha. I think Honda and Yamaha are the only ones
Okay,
which are still there, and they are at the
back.
back
Yeah. Which is,
always.
it sucks to
Yeah.
see those two at the back.
Uh,
They're legends of the
yeah,
sport.
and then there is just Aprilia in the middle. Aprilia is in the middle. In front, there is always Ducatis, which there are three different companies which are doing Ducatis.
Yeah,
It's the official, and the Aprilia and the KTM's are in the middle.
yeah.
And also, we have got an update for the face update for the R3 also.
Okay,
It is now similar looking to the R9,
okay.
and to be honest, I don't like the look of it.
Hmm.
It looks weird. R3 has always looked weird, but this one especially looks more weird. I don't know how they keep making the R3 more weird every time they do a change in it.
Is it at least a
But
little
I
bit
really
more
love the
modern?
engine of that bike.
It's a beautiful engine.
Yes, it's more modern. It's more modern, but they've tried to make the design more sharp, but
Okay.
it's just like the R5 looks way more better than the R3, to be honest.
The R what?
R15
Okay, R15. I
looks
thought you
much
said
better than the
R5.
R3.
I'm like, what did I miss? There's a R5 now?
No, no,
What
no,
the fuck?
no,
Maybe
no.
that's what's up next, right? 579.
Bro, they are going to make like odd number bikes
Yeah, bro, they'll
for
be like, नहीं
every
यार,
number they will
6,
have.
6, 1 ये क्या होता है? बहुत ज्यादा कर दिया हमने. हम बनाएंगे R7, R9, R5, R3. That is the future of the lineup.
That is currently what they have.
Apart from the R5. R5 is all that is left.
Yeah. Yeah, R2 ना बना दे कभी,
भाई
RC200 का कंपटीशन बना रहे हो.
also in different
Which,
markets
to be
they do
honest,
have
R5 still does the job.
in what's it
They
called?
have 125,
Yeah, they have a
R125.
125, they have a 150, they have a 300, and then they straight up have 600, 700, 900, 1000. There's nothing in between the 300 and the 600, right?
Yeah, nothing in between.
Okay, cool. So that's the next gap to fill for
Which
them.
they should make. It's
Yeah.
pretty cool. Yeah,
Dude,
because they
honestly,
will straight up compete with the Ninja 500.
Ninja 500 and your Aprilia RS457, RC390. RC390 though the R3 does compete easily. Current RC390 at least, the R3 does compete.
Yeah.
But yeah, seeing a proper maxed out A2 compliant Yamaha would be something I would really like to see. So Yamaha, if you're listening, R5 बना दो यार, मजा आ जाएगा.
It can actually, like, if they make it and make it like Indian production based, it can literally take over the whole Aprilia thing,
Yeah.
which is going on right now.
Which the reason Aprilia was
So
able to
yeah.
do that at such a price was the Indian production only. Like, there is no other reason to it. If this bike was being built anywhere else and coming here as a CBU or even as a knockdown unit,
Hmm.
it would be at least a lakh and a half to 2 lakhs more expensive
Yeah.
with the kind of
And
bike we're
even if
getting.
Yamaha does this with if they do it with the R3 also,
Hmm.
I would straight up buy the R3
Yeah.
right now
The
if they
problem
do
is,
the production in India. Because
yes, that. Problem is they're importing them from Indonesia. I'm not sure. I think it's the complete built unit being imported from Indonesia, which means the R3,
yeah, it's the complete build is getting it is basically getting imported,
yeah,
and that's why it's very it's the same price as the Aprilia, but
exactly.
less power.
Less power. Same engine platform also. It's got a parallel twin, but it's just smaller and less powerful and has a lot less features and it's got not as advanced of a frame.
Yeah,
Straight up, it's not as good of a bike and it's
and
more
I
expensive.
think it's more. It costs more than the Aprilia also, I
When
think.
you take it on road and
So it doesn't make
you kit
sense.
it out, yeah, it's not a sensible purchase at
Doesn't
all.
make sense.
The only reason I can see people buying the
Yeah,
R3 over the Aprilia right now is Yamaha ka naam and reliability.
is the name.
Yeah.
Yeah, and only people who will buy it is who want to buy the R3 specifically.
Yes.
They are the only ones who will buy it.
Yeah.
And okay, another new thing. So there have been two cars which have been released: the McLaren W1 and its competitor, which is a very shitty car called the Ferrari
80.
F80. Yeah.
F80 and the 12 cylindry or 12 cylindry. There's two new Ferraris that are come out.
I don't know about that. I just know about the F80 because
Yeah.
there is a big noise with that car
I have a
because
opinion.
everybody hates it.
I have an opinion about that car and the 12 cylindry for that matter. The updated design philosophy of Ferrari, does it not remind you of the, what's it called? Hyundai concept car, जो N line के एकदम beginning में आई थी. Back to the future
I
types.
think so. The thing is, I have yes, yes, yes. The thing is, what I see in the F80 is like I've seen this car, a similar, very similar design from some other manufacturer. I don't remember it if it was like Lexus or something.
If you look at,
It is a very similar design, but
I'm sending you a car right now. I mean, मैं गाड़ी नहीं भेज रहा, गाड़ी की photo भेज रहा हूँ, but I'm sending you a car right now. Just Check it out and let me know because when I saw
But
the new Ferraris, this is what came to mind to me. Abe,
but the thing is, McLaren has genuinely won
McLaren
this
has,
time.
from a purely design perspective, McLaren in my mind has always been winning. I am a long-time fan of the
Because
McLaren F1, the P1, McLaren Senna, and now the W1. I love these cars. These are my dream cars.
I l- I love the P1, and the thing is that everyone thought that they could not top the P1 with the new one, and they have done it. They have topped the P1
Yeah,
in terms of performance. They have still done it.
they've topped the P1 in terms of performance, and
But with the
by some measures, even the aero package, because P1, the reason it got
hmm,
to where it got to is because when it came out, it was the most aerodynamically efficient car available, period, flat out. Now, they might have even not might have, they've
yeah,
definitely upgraded even the aero package of that car. Have you seen the have you seen the addressable active aerodynamics on that car? The
yeah,
way that that rear wing moves, Kevin, is beautiful and seamless. That's
hmm.
shit that you see straight up inspired by
That
DRS
is
and
that
F1.
is something which McLaren has always done the
Best of
spoiler
everyone.
amazingly,
Yeah.
always.
In my opinion, I
Yeah,
prefer
I've seen the
McLaren
Hyundai.
W1. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, what were you
I've
saying?
seen the Hyundai, and I know they tried to make this car, but they shut it down.
This was the Envision or
So
N74. Envision
yeah,
74. Yeah.
I was more reminded. Yeah, if you have seen like old Lexuses, the F80 reminds me of those for some reason.
Okay, I see it. The Lexus LFA wala era.
I think so.
Yeah, the V10 Lexus LFA,
Yeah.
the hood area
Uh,
looks a little similar to the F80.
yeah.
Yeah, basically, the point with the F80 is it doesn't feel like a Ferrari anymore. It might be extremely powerful and it might be extremely aerodynamically efficient, but it is not a Ferrari anymore.
To be honest, it is better in terms of performance from the old one, the La Ferrari. It is better than that, but the thing is they have gone from a V12 to a V6, which people don't like.
Yeah.
But it's still because it's a hybrid also, it generally makes more power.
So in my
But
mind,
it looks shit.
the 12 cylindry, I'm
It
also
looks
gonna
like
figure out how to pronounce cylindry because if it's cylindry, then I'm gonna piss off our Italian friend. But hold on, pronunciation.
that we have already done.
Okay,
That we have already
it
done
is
the
cylindry. Sorry,
pizzas and the pastas.
pizza. पिज्जा खाएंगे पिज्जा but it's cylindry. Sorry, Italians. The Ferrari 12 cylindry
But like
is
the
still a.
F80 looks like this.
I
It
can't
looks
see
like a
clearly
fucking toy
enough.
car.
Yeah, okay, makes sense.
It's a Lambo.
Shouldn't look like that.
It's a Lambo Gallardo.
The yeah, there's
It looks
it. If you show me the headlights on that Hot Wheels, then I can tell you which Lambo it is.
no, it's the I think it's the Gallardo only. I think I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right or not.
Gallardo.
Gallardo,
Gallardo,
Gallardo. Okay,
I think. I might be wrong also,
yeah.
but
The
that's what I've
the
always called it.
the car which was in basically if you know Smack That by Acorns, the music
Yeah,
video,
yeah,
it it's the car which was in that. The iconic green Lambo, lime green Lambo.
yeah. I've seen one of
It kind
those
of
in
looks
Gurgaon.
like that, but yes, yes. It looks like that, but like a plastic toy version of it.
Dude, the
That's what the F80 looks like,
the hood
at least in
section,
the photos.
you see the black bar on the hood section? That reminds me of the Creta,
Yeah.
the new Creta. We're gonna put up
Yes.
photos of both of these cars. Tell me if you guys see it. It straight up looks like a fucking Creta, dude.
Yes, it does.
I never thought I would live to see a day
Man.
where there's a shitty looking Ferrari. Now I've seen everything. Now all that's left is give me a shitty
The
looking
and
McLaren and my life is finished. It's everything all done. Personally, I would get the GT3 RS from Porsche over any of the new Ferraris
bro,
any day. GT3 RS by itself also simply because that is a motorsport nerd's perfect car. You are the pit, you are the fucking pit
that
wall.
is the safest. That is the safest car you can buy.
Dude, straight up, you can
Like it
tune
is
it from
never,
the
it
driver's seat.
has nothing wrong with it.
There is no issues. And if there are any issues, you can fix them from inside the car.
Yeah,
I love that about that car.
exactly.
It's like if you take a jailbroken iPhone or a rooted Android and you turn it into a car, but with none of the viruses.
Yeah.
I love that car. It's awesome.
Mm.
But yes, coming back to what we were actually talking about, McLaren W1 is a beautiful machine. I'm gonna look up some quick numbers to compare the W1 and the F80. But honestly, just looking at the
Quick
cars,
numbers in what?
look up numbers in terms of
Quick
power.
numbers and what? Power.
Yeah,
The W1 makes more power. It makes 1275 horsepower,
there you
and
go.
I think the yeah Ferrari makes 1200 horsepower.
Okay, when you're making above 1200 horsepower, 75 horsepower का difference तुम्हें feel नहीं होगा. But the
Yeah.
aerodynamic efficiency of the W1 compared to the F80, you will feel that for
Mm.
sure. The active aero on the W1 being significantly more advanced than the active aero on the Ferrari, you will feel that. The
Mm.
As far as I can tell, better suspension, better brakes.
It's basically giving you 1000 kg of downforce. 1000 kg downforce.
This is the kind of car that you can genuinely expect to perform at hypercar levels, but it is a supercar. Would you even call
Yeah.
this a supercar, or would you straight up call this a road legal hypercar? 1200
It
bhp.
is a hypercar, I would say. Like,
Road legal hypercar.
yeah, it is a lot.
This means that this
Yeah.
goes into the same
And
territory as your Aston Martin Valkyrie, as your KTM X-Bow, as your Red Bull RB17, but better.
mm,
Maybe, maybe
yeah,
aerodynamically, Red Bull and Aston Martin Valkyrie RB17, those might have a slight edge in aero, but as a complete package of a car, W1 is next fucking level, dude. I have a new dream car.
mm,
मुझे बचपन से P1 चाहिए थी, अब मैं
definitely.
W1 लूंगा.
Why P1 is still like I love the design of that car. Like it looks so good.
Dude, I
And
wanted
it's
a
it's one
McLaren
of the
P1.
cars which I use in games.
Dude, I wanted a McLaren P1 since before the weekend bought one. And I will I will
Yeah.
always be that guy that people would like, P1 cleaner than your church shoes, motherfucker. I had a P1 as a wallpaper 2 years before that song. It's wild. But hell yeah,
Um,
McLaren
Why? Because
for the
people who
win.
have played Need for Speed, they know about this shit before.
Yes, sir. So there is a old philosophy that Ferrari used to follow that was we sell cars to go racing and other people go racing to sell cars. I feel like now McLaren is doing what Ferrari used to do.
Yeah, because they are dominating the F1 also now.
Okay, if we're talking about
So
F1,
yeah,
oh my God, can we talk about F1 for a minute?
yeah,
Bro,
sure.
oh my God, the US GP was intense. It was insane. After a very long period of not seeing much coming from the team, there was pure Ferrari dominance, bro. Pure Ferrari
Okay,
dominance. The P1
that's
Ferrari,
nice.
P2 Ferrari, P3 Red Bull,
Okay.
P4 McLaren, P5 McLaren. Now, because
Hmm.
your Ferraris and P1 and P2, they were just fucking gunning it and they were ahead of the pack the entire race. Like Lando Norris, McLaren got pole position and Max Verstappen got P2 in qualifying. They had a battle into turn one. Max was attacking,
Hmm.
Lando was defending. The two Ferraris were like, चलो हम खेल लेते हैं.
चलो हम जा रहे
भाई,
हैं.
this is the Ferraris and this is McLaren and Red Bull. Okay, bye. Within that first turn, Charles Leclerc took the lead of the race from P3, P4 and stayed there till the end. Till the fucking end. One pit stop.
Hmm.
They did a one stop strategy. They got back to the front within like 3 laps of their pit stop, which was insane. But
सही है
what was
भाई.
even crazier about this race was the usually in F1, craziest battles happen in the first 5, 6 laps and the last 5, 6 laps, right?
Hmm.
When it's like, okay, we have an
Yeah.
opportunity to go further because cars are bunched up, and at the end, it's like, go for the win. अब नहीं करेंगे तो नहीं करेंगे.
Hmm.
After the first race since Canada, I think. Yeah, first race since the Canada GP, there was a safety car in this race because Lewis Hamilton crashed in lap
Okay.
5. This is the first time in his career that Lewis
That
Hamilton
guy's
didn't.
done.
Bro, he's good still, but the car was not there, or maybe mindset was not there. Lewis Hamilton was not doing well in this race. He was not having a good weekend.
I think what is happening to Lewis right now is what was happening to Mark last year with Honda. And since Mark Marcus has changed to Ducati,
Different
he has
beast.
completely shifted this
Yeah.
year. Mindset
Yeah.
different. Performance, his performance has skyrocketed.
That same
And
thing is about to
he's in the
happen
third
to
position
Ayush.
for the
Third position
yeah,
for
and I think
Drivers' Championship.
next year, yeah, and like okay, he's still way far from the second position in points wise, points table, and the first and two like Pecco and Jorge Martin are still
Yeah,
like very edge to edge, neck to each
always.
other. But it is expected because the thing is, both of them have the 24 uh, 2024 Ducati, and Mark has the 2023 Ducati still. He doesn't have the updated
Okay.
Ducati because of the different sponsor.
Yeah,
So it is suspected that Mark will do better next year because he's going to the main Ducati team next
nice.
year as Pecco's partner. So he might dominate next year.
Hell yeah.
Might. Still
Did
don't know because he still crashes a lot.
Yeah, and didn't Mark also just
uh,
very recently
and
recover
I
from a
think
major injury?
no, like the major injury he had was with Honda,
Yeah,
and it was quite a while ago. But
yeah.
after that injury, he never won. He didn't win
Okay.
at
Did
all
he did he
for
get a win
years,
this season?
good amount of years.
First win after that injury was this year.
Yeah, yeah, he has 3 wins this year,
Hell
and
yeah.
first win this year
Yeah.
after the injury.
Yeah.
Like for some thousand fucking days, he didn't win,
Wild.
but this year he won, and it's amazing because his the way he uses the bike. So Pecco and Jorge Martin are very much, the new gen technique they have. Like they lean a lot
Yeah.
and like they use the bike way more to its potential. But I don't know, Mark is just like he still uses the old methods of riding, which he used against Rossi, to be honest.
Yeah.
And he is very aggressive, but still best control over the bike, according to me, than anyone.
Hell yeah.
Like he can literally recover himself from crashes. And I think Lewis Hamilton will have the same thing with the next year with Ferrari, maybe, because he needs a new
That's the
car.
hope. He definitely needs a new car. The Mercedes is not working for him. It's working slightly better for George
Yeah.
Russell, but even for George, it's not working properly right now. That car, they did win a couple of
Mm.
races this season, but those have been just like we got lucky with our specific track setup, right? Oh, sorry, track specific
Mm.
setup, not specific track setup. What the fuck? कुछ भी words कहीं भी डाल दो. But uh, they did have a little bit of luck. Ferrari has had a lot more luck. Other than Red Bull and McLaren, Ferrari has won the most
Mm.
races this season. And then it was Mercedes because they won two. Other than these four, no one has won a race
Yeah.
in this season, which is crazy. But
Mm.
F1 is gonna be like that. It's not a spec series, it's very whoever has the most money type series. So, sure, these four teams will end up on the top.
Yeah.
Not the most money, particularly because Aston Martin has a lot of money and they haven't figured anywhere near the top of the grid. Hopefully, next couple of years, because Adrian Newey is moving there, there will be some shit as well. But as of now,
Mm.
it's just these four teams. Big four. That's it. With Lewis moving to Ferrari, I feel like at least, if nothing else, it will be the season that he wants. Because he's been very clear about it since the beginning of
Yeah.
his career that he wants to drive for Ferrari before he retires. He won 7 drivers' championships for Mercedes,
Mm.
and now it's time for him to just have fun. So he'll get his eighth with
Yeah.
Ferrari.
I think, and that is exactly what Marcus is doing. Like
Yeah,
he has already had the big championships with Honda, but now he wants to move on, have bigger things, and I don't think he is at a point, according to his body and mind, that he needs to retire. Like
yeah,
he doesn't need to retire. He's not doing shitty at all.
yeah,
Like since he has gotten to Ducati, it's not like okay, Rossi knew when his body gave up and he couldn't handle the new riders' potentials.
yeah,
He couldn't ride with them.
yeah,
And Mark was one of those people. With Mark, it's not happening with him, but it was more of the bike, and he knew it already. He told Honda in the face that you need to give me the bike properly, otherwise this can't happen. And
yeah,
that is one of the big reasons he had his crash, was the bike was not giving him what he wanted, and
yeah.
he overdid it and crashed. because the bike was not competing with the other bikes.
I would say
So
based on what I've
now
seen and
he's
what
now still he's still like doing good with the new Ducati. He's doing good. He's on the third position.
hell yeah. So yeah, based
So
on what
yeah,
you're describing and what I've seen in the two sports, the parallel I would draw is Marc Marquez in MotoGP comparable to Max Verstappen in F1. Kind of that semi new age that still
he
has the old school that
yeah.
push their machine to the absolute edge and keep it on the edge. And if it's not set up properly, it will crash and burn. If it is set up well, specifically for that driver or that rider, they're on their way to a world title.
Mm.
Okay. So that comparison for sure. The
But I
comparison
think
I see a lot in F1 and MotoGP in the old school is Rossi and Hamilton.
I think mindset wise, Hamilton is more like Mark.
Okay.
Because definitely Rossi is compared to Hamilton because Hamilton is more of a legend than what Mark was for MotoGP
Yeah.
because Rossi has always been that for MotoGP.
Yeah.
But for me personally, I think the mindset which Lewis has is what Mark has more. Because Rossi was way more chilled out and he was like not that aggressive with the bike. Because Mark has always been attacking mode,
Yeah.
which can be said about Max
Max.
Verstappen,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Max, dude, also. Okay, coming
So
back to
yeah.
American, the USGP. Again, this is ये पूरे सेक्शन का नाम होगा मोटर स्पोर्ट्स तुम देख लेना हमें पता ही नहीं हम किस चीज के बारे में कब बात कर रहे हैं आई नो यू asked for timestamps I tried to put timestamps on the last video then I gave up halfway through you can see that also on episode 5 आधे timestamps हैं but hopefully this one will be slightly better coming back to USGP, the battle between Max Verstappen and Lando Norris in the last, I want to say 15 laps, very intense, with Lando genuinely being on Max Verstappen's tail constantly for like 5, 6 laps at a time. Literally, the
Mm,
difference between them for the 3 laps before the overtake happened. Lando Norris was just 3 tenths behind Max Verstappen for 3 whole laps. But the reason he couldn't make the overtake, Max Verstappen drove a fucking masterclass of defensive driving, man. Like, if you watch
mm,
the battle between those two, there is a video on F1's channel with the whole battle between Max and Lando in this race. Bro, it's like a chess
mm.
game. Straight up, there is it's like Lando is like ठीक है हम यहाँ से जाएंगे. Max is like I'm fucking 3 corners ahead of you, bro. I know exactly what you're gonna do and when. To the point that when Lando did make the overtake, finally decided कि हाँ this is the opportunity to overtake. He was coming in from the
Mm.
outside line, and you know that if Max Verstappen has the inside line, he will not hit the fucking brakes. Max Verstappen is not going to give up the corner.
Yeah.
That's his corner. So what happened is he pushed Lando Norris off track. Both cars went wide in the turn. Both cars went off track. And Lando made the
Mm.
overtake off track, got out in front of the Red Bull.
I've seen that video. I've seen that
Yeah,
video. But I think Max was like still inside little bit, maybe
exactly.
from this
He was
much.
just touching the border of the track, bro. And that level of
Yeah,
awareness
so
of
he was
where
on the track.
exactly that level of awareness, like, no, I was on track, he was off track, he needs a penalty. And
Penalty.
McLaren fucked up a little bit because they told Lando to hold the position, don't give the position back. We are reporting him for pushing you off track. He will get a penalty. Penalty end में लैंडो को ही मिली. He finished the race ahead of Max, but he finished the race 4 seconds and 1/10 ahead of Max. He got a 5 second penalty.
Hmm.
So on the
Bhai, that is
that
something
has to be the most
that
heartbreaking
is
way to
crazy.
lose, man. Because these guys are in the
Uh,
World Drivers Championship ka fight. Even though they're fighting for P3 and P4, the battle is much bigger than that.
hmm,
If McLaren didn't fuck
yeah.
up strategy there, although to give them credit, they were on track to be able to make that 5 seconds ka gap, and their best bet would be कि ठीक है, overtake करो, get the penalty, be more than 5 seconds ahead of Max, so that you still finish the race ahead of him even with your penalty.
Which is, to be honest, which is very hard to do.
It's very hard to do. It would be very doable for the McLaren with anyone other than Max Verstappen in the Red Bull.
That's just happened. Yeah,
Exactly. You have Max Verstappen
exactly.
in a Red Bull. It's no joke to be just like, हाँ 5 second का gap बना लो. The
He's gunning
fact that
it.
exactly the fact
He's
that he
gunning
got a
it,
four
bhai.
second gap was very impressive to me because he got that 4 second gap within like
Yeah.
4 laps, not even 4 laps,
Hmm.
less than that. He got that 4 second gap, so it was doable. The strategy McLaren wanted, it didn't work. So now Max has extended his lead in the Drivers'
Hmm.
Championship by another couple of points. So yeah, it's looking more and more every day like we're gonna have Max
But
Verstappen winning his fourth
who
title.
is who's at the top right now?
At the top right now,
Max is at the top right now,
Max
right?
is Max is at P1 in Drivers' Championship. Lando is P2, and I think P3 is Charles
Hmm.
Leclerc for Ferrari.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have these three on the
That
top of the
that's good.
table. Charles Leclerc is fucking winning races now. Like he's consistently
I think
performing well.
something flipped in him.
Something did flip in him. You know what happened? He won his home race for the first time ever.
Ah,
And he
okay.
was the first
Okay.
person from Monaco to win in Monaco, e- either in the history of F1 or since the 1980s. One of those two. So he's the first
Hmm.
person in at least 40, 50 years to win in Monaco. That is from Monaco.
It does give you a confidence
Major
boost
confidence boost.
when you do something like that.
Because उसके साथ there was the curse
Yeah.
of Monaco also, where he has gotten pole position at Monaco for the last, I think, 3, 4 seasons. He's gotten pole position every year at Monaco. But he never won from pole position, even though this is a race that is very difficult to lose from pole position. Because the track is so narrow that you can't,
Hmm.
if unless your team fucks up strategy or you crash, you can't lose that race. Like overtakes are impossible on this track,
Hmm.
basically. But Ferrari from the last few seasons, being Ferrari from the last few seasons, they did fuck up the strategy. Charles Leclerc in the last few seasons, being Charles Leclerc in the last few seasons, he did crash once. So yeah, but this
Yeah.
year, flawless.
Mhm.
No touches anywhere. Perfect execution of Ferrari strategy. He won Monaco. Second thing he won was Monza, Ferrari's home circuit. So if you
Hmm.
win in front of
Okay.
Ferrari fans in Italy, that is the biggest confidence boost you can possibly get. Because, dude, if you see the celebrations from the Monza podium, they treated him like a fucking god. The Tifosi are insane.
That I have seen.
And it was like old days when Michael Schumacher would win a race and the entire stadium would be red, right? It felt like that. And then this week he won the USGP. Yes, sir. You got exactly what I'm
Yes,
talking
sir.
about.
Yes, sir.
And that's from the Marlboro livery wala era, yaar. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. What's up with
Yeah.
tobacco, alcohol, and gambling companies making the sickest racing liveries of all time?
Bro, they have the best designs. I don't know. Their logos are good.
Yes, dude. Yeah,
And it's actually this is what my bike's color scheme is designed on.
yeah.
The white and red and the black.
Yes, sir.
मैंने सोचा था मार्बोलर लिखवा दूं अपनी बाइक पे बट फिर
फिर
मैंने
छपरी
नहीं
लगेगा।
करवाया अभी मैंने कहा
उसको कहते
चलो
हैं
लेट्स सी cause मेरे को
छपरिफिकेशन।
कस्टम बनवाना पड़ता नहीं आई वुड हैव टू गेट इट कस्टम मेड
Yeah,
एंड लाइक अ प्रॉपर डिजाइन
yeah,
अच्छे से बनवाना पड़ता मेरे को फिर
yeah.
मैं कहा यार पैसे खर्च हो जाएंगे रहने दो अभी आई माइट गेट दैट डन इन अ बेटर बाइक देन
Yeah, dude,
या
I want to
ओके
see an
सो
Indian racing
नाउ
team with a gold
आई
flake
वांट
livery. मजा आ जाएगा।
अरे भैया उसमें क्या इंडीमेंट लगा दो छोटी गोल्ड लगा दो गोल्ड फ्लेम
10 वाली। Nice.
okay so there are three new bikes updates
Yes.
so first is uh, there is nothing a lot to talk about it but the KTM 250 Duke has been updated
Yeah.
and basically they have given it like a TFT display and it's basically the same as 390 Duke, the new one.
Yeah.
So they have made the exact copy,
Yeah.
the 390 into with a different engine, and
Yeah.
the people are just crying over it because it doesn't look different.
Dude,
And
don't.
I'm like, isn't
It's
that what KTM always does?
that's the whole point, man. The RC line, the RC 125, 200, and 300 literally have the same frame. They all have the same frame with just a
Exactly.
different engine in it. This is what KTM does. Get used to it. Even the old 390 and 250 are not that far apart.
Not at all. It's
Mainly,
just the headlight was different.
exactly.
Was.
Mainly in this update, what they have done is they have removed some of the orange because chapri बुला रहे थे लोग उसको. They have given it a color TFT,
Now they have made it more blue.
more blue, and there's also an
Yeah,
all black one now. So there's new colors,
yeah.
there's a TFT. Is it retuned at all, or is it the exact same engine with the exact same tune?
No, I don't. I think it's the same tuning. Uh, they have given it two riding modes, which is a street and a track. They have bi-directional quick shifter now.
Okay,
Uh, updated switch gear. Okay, there is some update to that. The
okay.
gearing.
Switch
Uh,
gear is, bro, the buttons and knobs on the handlebar.
okay. Yeah. So there is update to that, and there is a supermoto ABS. I don't know what that means.
Supermoto mode in most of these bikes means turn off rear ABS.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's cool. That is new
that's
in the
cool.
250.
Okay, so there are some ECU
Okay,
updates
so they
then.
have just added more electronics. They have
Yeah,
added more electronics.
yeah, which is fine.
Yeah, the mechanically the motorcycle remains unchanged.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's fine.
they have just added
Mechanically
electronics to
the
it.
bike was already great, to be honest. The 250
Yeah,
Duke is the calmest Duke there is. It's the most laid back while still having the fun aspect. I'm not counting the
I think
125s.
that is 200.
Two.
That is still the 200 for me.
Okay,
Duke 200.
okay, cool.
because 250 is more powerful.
It is more powerful.
250 is the perfect 250 is the perfect gap to bridge like from a 200 to a 390
Yeah, that is true.
because its competitor are the 300s, like the
Yeah.
Apache 300 would be its best competitor.
All from what I've heard,
Yeah, so that
from people that have ridden both of these bikes, is that the 200,
mm,
even though it makes less peak power, is tuned a little more aggressively, and the 250, even though it makes a little bit more peak power, has a little more
yes,
comfortable
because
gearing and tuning.
because the two because 200 gearbox and tuning is set up as the not the 200, sorry, the 250s gearbox and its tuning is from the 250 Adventure.
Yeah,
That is why
so
it
that's
is
what
more
makes
calmer,
it more
but
laid back to
it is
ride.
still more powerful engine.
Yeah, so if you ride it at
Yeah,
high
but it's still
revs
more powerful
and
engine
you
than the
exploit the
200.
peak power, then yeah, makes more power for sure.
But me personally, I have ridden both of them. 250 is still more aggressive, I would say, even in the lower RPMs, because the feedback of the throttle is amazing in
Yeah,
that bike.
yeah.
Like you just do it and it goes.
Are you
It just
talking
goes.
about the
In
generation of
200,
the
it's a little delayed.
Are you talking about the generation of Duke that
The
Varun has?
Yes,
Okay, so after
that
that,
one,
the
not the new one.
the more recent one, not 2024, but the 22 and 23 Dukes that came out. I'm talking about
Hmm.
those ones that I've heard from people that they are the calmest Dukes available. So
Okay.
those are tuned,
Yes, yes.
yeah,
The new ones are more calmer.
those
Yeah,
are
yeah,
tuned
yeah, yeah.
even less aggressively than the 200s and
Definitely.
250s from before.
Hmm.
So Varun's bike is a little
Yeah.
more aggressive in tuning than the new Dukes, for sure. That is
Hmm.
for sure. But at the end of the day, 250 Duke is still the happy medium where if this is your first bike and you want something that is a little bit more active riding than a commuter, a 250 Duke is a
Yeah.
good option.
It's a good choice. Yeah.
And now it comes with more
Okay. So,
electronics. So that's
speaking
great.
of 250s,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. Speaking of 250s, there is a not a 250 but a 230 called the Kawasaki KLX230, which is a genuine dirt bike
Yes, sir. Genuine road legal
unveiled
dirt
in
bike.
India.
Road legal dirt bike,
Yes.
which is hell fucking yeah. But it's still four stroke, by the way. So it's not a genuine dirt bike.
Yeah, it's a post op.
But that's mostly because they're not really making the
Well,
two
they had
strokes
to make it
anymore.
legal.
Yeah, exactly. They had to make it legal.
They had to make it legal.
But it makes a hell of a lot of power
But
for a 230.
it is, to be honest, the bike you want to have for off-roading.
Yeah.
It is the bike
This
you
is
would want
the
to have,
X-Pulse killer.
not your
Yeah,
X-Pulses.
this is the
No.
killer of the X-Pulse, basically.
Yes.
The only reason you would still go for an X-Pulse, pricing. X-Pulse is still priced much better. Being a Kawasaki, this is going to have the premium. I'm just looking up exact numbers.
Yeah.
Okay. It makes 20 horsepower at 7,600 RPM, 20 Newton meters of torque at 6,000 RPM. Curb weight is 132, which is decent. You got dual channel ABS switchable rear. Seat height is 880
Yeah,
millimeters, so that's
because
higher than the
the thing
Himalayan.
is, yeah,
Yeah.
it's the complete, I think it's the complete competition to the Honda CRF, which has
Yes.
never came to India.
Yes.
but I think this is something which we actually needed in our country because
My only
off-roading is
problem,
getting very, very popular now,
yeah, the supercross and motocross scene is very
and
big.
this is perfect.
Yeah. Perfect it is. My only problem with it is it costs nearly 6 lakhs for a 230.
They, they have not unveiled the price, official price they have not given for it, I think so.
So the
So
not the
I
street
don't know
legal
if it's true
variant.
or not.
I'm not talking about the street legal variant. I'm talking about the 230 RS
Hmm.
that was available already in India.
Yeah, so that is the thing which is different because I really don't know if what is the price of this and if they have cut down costs on this version of the bike. Because if they are unveiling it for India, I
Yeah.
think they would Kawasaki knows better
Yeah.
to make it cheap
So
for people to buy. Because
anticipated price is
people will buy it.
exactly. Anticipated price is around 3 lakhs. And at that point, sure,
Yeah.
Kawasaki name added onto it makes sense. And the suspension setup is worth it. Your frame is worth
Mhm.
it. You're paying a premium for a lot of those things.
And yeah, and the thing is, even with X-Pulses, you still have to mod it a little bit to get its full potential.
Yes.
In this, you would not need to do anything.
Yeah.
It's completely perfectly built
So if
to
I
go
look
off
up,
the road.
if I look up what? If I look up the X-Pulse Rally Edition, look up, yes, sir.
Yeah.
X-Pulse Rally Edition, which you would not have to modify much for it to be capable on dirt. It still
Mm.
costs 1.5 lakh, which is half the expected price of the Kawasaki.
Of this, yeah.
So on a price front,
Yeah.
I would still buy if I were buying
Expert
it.
still makes a sense, yeah.
Yeah, if I were buying a bike
Like for a
for
beginner,
just
it still
off-roading,
makes sense.
for just off-roading, if I'm buying a bike, not touring, not highway
Mm.
use, not city use, none of that, just off-roading, I'm still gonna get an X-Pulse Rally Edition specifically.
Yeah.
If I look at road usage, the regular X-Pulse 4 valve, the tires are more suited for roads than the KLX230. If you look at the tires
Mm.
on the KLX, you lean that bike, you're falling. On tarmac, you lean
Yeah.
that bike on tarmac, you're falling. X-Pulse will have better grip on tarmac with
Mm.
stock tires. But with these bikes,
But
honestly, I don't know anyone that keeps the stock tires with either of these bikes.
I genuinely, yeah, I genuinely think that if somebody is buying the Kawasaki, they will purely buy it for the off-road.
Yeah,
And the off-road junkies are the ones who are going to buy.
yeah. All
Because those
the
people are still using the X-Pulse and they are, I feel like those people are kind of done with the X-Pulse now.
yeah. So for
Like
people
they
that are
have
looking to
used its
upgrade,
potential.
yeah, for people that are looking to
Yeah,
upgrade from an X-Pulse for purely off-road use, I think that's the market
this is a
that
good
the
option.
KLX230 is out for.
Yeah, and the thing is, Kawasaki has never really and wanted to enter a lower segment or a cheaper bike segment
Yeah.
in India ever.
They're not a price sensitive
So
brand.
even with the yeah, even with the 300 Ninja 300, they didn't give a shit about the market and the price and everything. Like it still costs a lot.
Yeah.
So I don't think Kawasaki really cares
And
about having cheaper bikes.
name will sell the bike straight up.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the Kawasaki. I don't think
Okay.
either of us will be buying this bike. So we are
I would love to buy it, but not as my primary bike,
Yeah,
to be honest.
it is not supposed to be a primary bike also. This is for people that already have a two bike garage or a three bike garage and they want to replace one of those bikes
Definitely.
just as an off-roading toy. That's what this is for.
Yeah.
Okay, but anyway,
Okay.
moving on from the
So
Kawasaki.
now,
Yeah.
yeah, now the last bike which we have. Guess which bike? Guess. No, no, not this one, not this one. We will talk about that one, but
Yeah.
there is another brand which we talk about in every fucking episode.
अबे अरे यार अरे यार अरे यार अरे यार. So there's the new Pulsar.
There is another pulsar. There is another pulsar. Ah,
Why? Why?
why? Ah,
For for every NS we're going to have an N, and for every N we're going to have an NS. There is no getting away from it. Bro,
ah,
next we're going to
this
find
okay.
N400
So
आ जाएगी यार. कुछ भी कर रहे हैं ये लोग यार.
maybe the N125, Pulsar N125. Huh. Okay. To be
What is up,
honest,
Bajaj?
it is the it is the best looking 125 they have design wise.
Yeah,
Because now they are straight up competing with the Raider and the what was the other one? The Extreme 125, Hero
yeah,
Extreme.
yeah,
Because Raider was the starting point of the 125s getting better designs.
yeah.
The Hero Extreme was the very much upgraded because it. I would still buy an Extreme over the N125 also cause of the design because it
Yeah.
looks amazing. It is an amazing 125cc
Also,
bike,
from what
and
I hear,
the
it
only
makes decent power for a 125.
it
Yeah,
does, it is good. Like someone who commutes to office and wants to have a good looking bike and doesn't have a lot of budget, it is the best bike for them.
yeah.
The only thing I don't understand is why take the N125 when you already have the NS125? Why not just upgrade that fucking design?
Exactly my
If
point.
you want to get the design out, it's
So,
stupid.
is there any change outside of that design update?
I think the engine is again different from the NS. They have used a new engine, I think.
Okay, so from what I see, Bajaj is just putting out as many things as they can, seeing what sticks,
They have
and
already been doing that.
yeah, that they're just sticking with their ways. They're throwing shit on the wall. जो भी चिपक जाए, ठीक है, यही अपना आर्ट है.
नहीं होगा तो discontinue कर दो.
Why?
Like they did with the P160, they did that with the Pulsar AS, they did with the Pulsar LS. So okay.
There
Oh
were
yes,
more. Yeah,
I forgot to tell you there were more Pulsars which were called the Pulsar AS and the Pulsar LS, which is supposedly so Pulsar RS
mm-hmm.
was racing sport, NS is the naked sport, AS is adventure sport, LS is light sport, which is the four main bikes which they took out, I think, 10 years ago, which they made when they made the drastic change in the Pulsars. Those were the new bikes at that time. Now it's the N series which they are coming out with. So weird.
All I'm gonna say is too many fucking pulsars, dude. Too many fucking pulsars. Make up your mind. Release one bike per engine. One bike that works properly. Looks good, sounds good, rides good, feels good, is cheap enough. If you want to make different bikes, Don't make the same fucking bike twice. Why do we have so many naked pulsars? Give us more fairings, right? Give us different suspension setups. Why are they all the same? And
Give
if
us a
you
RS. Give us an RS.
RS
Give us a
400,
new RS.
where the fuck is the RS 400? नहीं, हम एक और 125 निकालेंगे. ये क्या है भाई? कर क्या है ये लोग?
The thing is, people asked for the RS 400 and they gave us the NS 400. Why? They could have just put fairings.
And no one asked for an N125. People were happy
No,
with the
no
one.
one.
People were happy with the 125 that they already had. Now, we discussed this earlier, but Bajaj makes how many 125s? There's two
Four?
Pulsars,
Currently have four.
four
No,
separate
so there is,
125, and two of them are Pulsars.
I think that there's three of pulsars. No, no, no. Yes, there are two pulsars. The NS, wait, okay, yeah. There is now three new pulsars. There are five. This is the fifth one. So the N125, the NS125, the Pulsar 125,
Oh
which is the
yeah,
OG 125 Pulsar, the OG 125 Pulsar. Now there is Freedom 125, which Bajaj has.
yeah.
There is a CT 125.
Okay. Too many 125s, dog.
Why?
Too many 125s. But yeah, that's my thought on.
Bajaj, please make a liter class bike. Make a liter class bike and a half
Bhai,
liter class bike.
we were talking about this, bro. Pulsar RS V4 when? ये चाहिए मेरे
Yeah.
को. That's when I will buy a
Pulsar,
Pulsar.
please make inline four engines.
इनलाइन
Make
4 बना
inline four
दो,
engines.
V4 बना दो, इनलाइन 3 बना दो, कुछ भी चलेगा. भाई तुम पैरेलल ट्विन बना दो, हम खा जाएंगे. कुछ
हाँ
बन,
भाई.
make something new, please, Bajaj. NS 400 was a very good start. Please make more new shit. You have your Dominars that are actually good fucking bikes. You have your upper end of the Pulsars that are actually really nice to ride. Anything 200 and above in the Pulsars. 200 and above क्या बोल रहा हूँ, दो ही है. There's 200 and there's 400.
अब है ही नहीं. Two ही है. One.
160 and above मान के चल लो. 160 and above, the Pulsars are actually fun and decent to ride. That's good. And you have your commuters, you have your fun bikes, you have your slightly more performance oriented bikes. Make new shit. Don't just make more naked bodies for all of these things that you already have fucking naked bodies for. Right? Here, okay. So now, if anyone from
Exactly.
Bajaj is listening, ये उंगली पॉइंट करके मैं बोल रहा हूँ तुम्हें, हमें चाहिए RS 400. ठीक है? Make an
Yes.
RS 400. If you really want to make another NS, make a new engine. Give us an NS 300 or an NS
Or
two
or
fifty.
or just fucking update the design of that bike. I am sick of it.
Or if
Really
you
sick of
want a
it.
new design and you want to keep the same engine, update the designs. Don't make a new bike. Why are you making a new bike? ये क्या है यार?
Yeah, the thing is, they are still afraid because the people, there are a lot of people who like the old design, and there is a cult mentality with Pulsars which comes. And the thing is, they are scared that if they change the design and discontinue the old one, people will go mad over it. So they are just not doing it. They're just keeping the old designs कि हाँ ये है हम अभी भी यही बना रहे हैं, and they're just making new bikes with the same engines,
Yeah, I think
just updating to
grow a
update the
fucking
designs.
pair, Bajaj. Grow
That's
a
just
fucking pair. It's time.
it's so stupid.
It's about time. So you see what Royal Enfield does, right? When they're making different bikes using the same engine, the bikes are actually fucking different, right?
Yeah,
I understand that, Kevin, you don't like the 350s, but you gotta admit, Classic 350 is a very different bike from Meteor 350, is a very different bike from Hunter 350.
that is true. That is true.
And
Very
if
much
you,
true.
the only two 350s that are similar to each other are Bullet and Classic. Those are
Yeah.
interchangeable, straight up. Same bike, different seating setup and slightly modified suspension. But okay, you have Royal Enfield making multiple bikes with the same engine, but they're not overdoing it. 650s. Each bike with the 650 is a very different motorcycle. Learn from your counterparts यार एक तो तुमने engines कितने बना रखे हैं 125 भी है 150 भी है 160 भी है 200 भी है
Bro, I
and
don't know why there is a 150N, 150 Chod,
and also
and 160 already.
if I'm not mistaken there's three different 125cc engines that they make, one for the Pulsar, one for the CT,
Yeah,
one for the Freedom.
yeah. The thing is, with Pulsar, they have different 125s also.
multiple
They are different
mul-
engines.
Multiple engines with the same displacement, you are giving yourself more work, right? You are
Yeah,
fucking up your own profit margins because you are thinking कि यार डाई हार्ड फैंस ये वाली नहीं खरीदेंगे भाई उन्हें अपनी पुरानी वाली रखने दो क्या जा रहा है
exactly.
make a new bike. There will be some differentiating factor between the old bike and the new bike. But you see the same thing happening with phones, right? They don't just keep selling each
Hmm.
old new phone. You want the old ones.
Well, iPhone does.
Okay, iPhones are a separate thing.
It's a
Even
joke.
it's a joke, but even iPhones discontinue some models, right? And
Yeah, they do.
not like the models that didn't work. They discontinue old models. Like if you want
Hmm.
this, you buy it used or you find it rare boxed. Do that with the pulsars. If people love the old design so much, they will buy it used. I have no doubt about
Yeah,
it. And I don't think there's anyone that loves the old design so much more than the new ones. That हमें new bike चाहिए और हमें पुराने design के साथ चाहिए. तुमने हमें नहीं दी तो तुम खराब हो. ऐसे कोई बोलने नहीं वाला है बजाज को. People will just be grateful for a
yeah.
new
To
bike.
be to be honest, my personal thinking and my personal opinion is, I would rather buy a N160 than a NS160. I would rather buy a N250 than a NS 200. Purely why? Because those bikes look way better. Just purely the design looks way better and more modern. NS designs are outdated. They are done. They are done. They look old. They look shit. I am
Now,
telling you, they look shit. Bike. I will piss off a lot of Pulsar and NS lovers, but the design is just old. It's just old.
I
The
have
bike is
a
amazing. I love the bike.
I have
It's
an
amazing
idea.
engine.
I have an idea for Bajaj. Put out a survey among Bajaj owners and the Bajaj community because बहुत बड़ी Bajaj community है. Even if you reach out to just the first hand buyers, बहुत बड़ी community है Bajaj motorcycles की. Survey भेजो
Yeah.
सबको. Pulsar line में what are your favorite designs? What are your favorite engines? Consolidate your lineup. You want to
Bro, a
appease the
lot of
crowd.
people would, to be honest, say they like the RS. And the thing is,
वो तो of course
they are
I'm
not
talk
upgrading the RS.
I'm
Maki Chud.
talking between N and NS. Ask the people
Hmm.
what they want more, right? Give them that.
Yeah.
If you have multiple of the same engine or multiple engines that fill the same market, ask people which ones they like more. If you have a 150 and a 160, you're confusing your customers
I don't even know the reason why.
because dude,
Why? Why do that?
I am someone that knows things about bikes and pulsars confuse me. You are someone that knows things about pulsars and you have explained pulsars to me and I'm still confused. right?
I even
So
even
how
I
do
don't know why there is a 150 and a 160 in the same exact bike and the same exact looks. 10 सीसी का फर्क क्या करेगा? तुम मेरे को ये समझा दो बस।
तो तुम देखो भाई, अगर तुम्हारे कस्टमर्स को, तुम्हारे फैंस को, तुम्हारे हेटर्स को और तुम्हारे इनडिफरेंट लोगों को, किसी को समझ नहीं आ रहा है कि तुम्हारे बाइक्स क्यों हैं और क्या करने के लिए बने हैं, consolidate your lineup, figure out what you want the pulsar to be, right? Your dominar can take care of touring. You can have a dominar adventure.
Dominar is at the perfect place where it is.
Dominar is
RS is
good.
at the perfect place.
Pulsar RS. Just make more RSs, and I'm not saying make
Make
a
an
RS.
updated one.
I'm not saying make an
Make
RS
an update.
125. I'm saying make a new RS 200 and make an RS 400.
Yeah.
Fill in the
Update
gap,
the RS.
fill in the gap between the 200 and the 400 by giving us an RS 300 and get rid of one or two of the beach wale pulsars. Okay, you can easily get rid of one 125, two 125s you can get rid of, in my opinion. तीन होने ही नहीं चाहिए, एक
Hmm.
लाइन में तीन 125s होने ही नहीं चाहिए. Get rid of two of them. 150 and 160, get rid of the 150. The 160 is great.
Yeah.
200, you like the NS, keep the NS. You like the N, keep the N, right? With all of them. We don't need an N160 and an NS160. There is an NS160.
Yes.
We don't need an N200 and an
Obviously it
NS200.
is.
There's an N200 and an NS200.
N200 doesn't exist. N250 exists, but it makes the exact same power figure as the NS200.
Okay. What's the
So
difference
you kind
between
of can.
what's the difference between the NS200 and the N250?
NS is four valve engine and 250 is a two valve engine.
तो मत बनाओ ना टू वाल्व इंजन. किसने
पता
बोला
नहीं क्यों बनाया है.
ठीक है यार, at a certain point two valve engines were the predominant force in the market. एक्सपल्स फोर valve है, रॉयल एनफील्ड के सारे engines फोर valve हैं, टीवीएस के सारे नए engines फोर valve हैं. तुम्हें टू valve engines बनाने हैं, put them in your commuters.
that that is what they have done now. Right now. Shows वो फोर valve engine की जगह अब टू valve बनाया है उन्होंने 125 में. भाई पहले, so earlier they had two valve engines only
हम्म.
in the Pulsars,
हाँ.
and they had like 125, 110, 150, 160, 180 pulsars, which I don't know, they kept changing the cc in that
हम्म.
bike, and they were always two valve. Then they made the whole four valve lineup with the NS and the RS, AS and LS. It was all four valve.
Yeah.
Now they are again making two valve engines.
Why?
Don't know
Is
the
there
reason.
is there any performance benefit?
I
Clearly
think
not.
it's just a I think it's just mileage benefit, maybe somewhere. I don't know.
Okay.
Because it gives, I think the N gives the better mileage than the NS, maybe. I
Two
am not
valve
sure.
versus four valve engines. हम देखते हैं engines straight up. Not even
But
pulsar.
I genuinely know that the N 250 and the NS 200 give the same power figures.
Bro, okay. Four valve engines produce more power and torque.
Hmm.
Four valve engines are more fuel efficient.
Okay.
Four valve engines allow better airflow into the combustion chamber of the engine.
Hmm.
Four valve engines can operate at higher RPMs than two valve engines.
तो बहनचोद
Four
12 क्यों
valve
बनाना है?
four valve engines allow for better spark plug placement to allow for more efficient combustion. Four valve engines provide additional cooling to the cylinder head. Two valve engines are more affordable than four valve engines
तो ये क्यों
to
माँ चोद रहे हैं भाई को की?
manufacture. So, end of the day, We don't need that many pulsars, Bajaj. प्लीज बात मान लो. तुम्हें नई बाइक्स बनानी है, नई बाइक्स बनाओ. Okay, but not that many pulsars. You want to make new pulsars, make new pulsars. Don't just rebrand the old ones and then keep the old ones. Right? If we're gonna have, dude, straight up, if they make three more of the 400s and none of them are an RS, I'm gonna be pissed.
Hmm.
But okay, fine. This is irrelevant rant about Bajaj. ये कोई सुनने भी नहीं वाला है. इसका किसी पे कोई इफेक्ट भी नहीं होने वाला है. Just दिल से निकाल रहा हूँ. Bajaj is confusing the shit out of me.
Bhai, I don't know. And as soon as I saw this new bike, I was like, Hume, why? You don't need it. You don't. Why? Why? Cheap and no.
Yeah.
Just no. Don't. Don't do it.
Okay.
I think Bajaj is just having fun कि भाई एक और बाइक निकाल देते हैं हर साल एक नई बाइक निकाल देते हैं ये लो
मस्त भाई. तुम बताओ तुम्हें क्या चाहिए? RS 400 चाहिए तुम्हें? तुम्हें नई
नहीं
RS
मिलेगी
टू
नहीं
हंड्रेड
नहीं
चाहिए?
नहीं
नहीं नहीं, हम बनाएंगे N125.
तुम एक और 125 ले लो
एक
तुम
और.
बस ये मिलेगा
So yeah, that is, in my mind,
ओके
Pulsar line is dead.
इट्स नॉट डेड it's confused
Yeah,
it's just a lot of confusion it's still good but
some of them are good.
some of them not all of them okay now electric Royal Enfield
See, I'm thinking, let's talk about that next episode because we are 1 hour
very
33
much done.
minutes.
There is not a lot to talk about right now because it's just a teaser, like they have not put it out.
There's going to be an electric Royal Enfield coming out.
That is all we know. That is all
Yeah,
we know.
this is the news. Thank you for listening. But there is a REEV on its way, and
But next episode, I think we'll get the specs and it will be unveiled till
yeah,
then.
hopefully there will be
So
there will be new info on this by then. Uh, Next episode we can also talk about the new REs in general, like not
hmm,
just the 350s wala conversation that we had, but
cause
let's talk about the updates. Let's talk about the 450s. Let's talk about the
REs
650s.
REs में भी बहुत ज्यादा बाइक्स आ गई हैं अब.
थोड़ी ज्यादा हो रही हैं. I can also see it. There is no need for an interceptor and a bear. There is no
Yeah,
need for a shotgun and a classic 650. There's too much. ठीक है. I agree with you there. But next episode we will talk about Royal Enfield.
yeah,
One little news update I want to give you. You know this. I'm giving this to the 5 people watching the podcast. But so we've been talking about the RS 457. We've been fanboying about this motorcycle since episode 1. मैं फाइनली ट्राई करने वाला हूँ. तो नेक्स्ट एपिसोड में I'll share my views on the motorcycle as well, and there will be a motor vlog coming out on my on Mo on Wheels as well. तो वो जब आएगा तुम देख लेना.
yeah.
But yeah, there's going to be we're going to be trying the RS 457. By the time this video comes out, I will be on the 457 because Saturday को ही ride कर
Nice.
रहा हूँ मैं.
Yes,
तो
yes,
yeah.
yes.
So next episode we talk about the new REs and the fact that there's too many of them. And we talk about the RS 457. We both love that bike in the idea of it. How much do I love it in riding it? We'll see. And
Yeah.
based on the fact that I know you and I know what kind of bikes you like, I'll also know what you like and don't like about it. देखते
Hmm.
हैं because थोड़ा रोज कलर्ड ग्लासेस हटा के रियलिटी ग्लासेस से देख लेंगे इस बाइक को. But yeah, next
Yeah.
episode is talking about those. We are just Continuing on with bikes manufactured in India, man. Hell yeah.
Yes, because there's always so there is a time when there is a lot going on, and there is a time where there is nothing going on.
Right now, there is a lot going on here. There is
Yeah.
a lot going on. Two-wheelers, man. Four-wheelers are a little dead here right now. There
Hmm.
is some stuff is coming out this fun, but two-wheelers, man, the market is booming. So we have a lot to talk about. I'm glad we have this podcast because नहीं तो हम time waste कर रहे होते. अब हम कैमरा पे टाइम वेस्ट करते
Yes,
हैं.
it's still but ठीक है कुछ तो है.
मजा है यार, मजा.
It's something.
आज when I was coming out of the whole family gathering to get here to start recording the podcast, my
Hmm.
mom went to her room and I heard Sonic Surge intro. My mom was watching the episode with dad in it. Nice. So
Nice, nice.
guests do bring us viewers. We should bring more
Yes.
guests. I know we've
Well,
been
in the
hyping.
first place, your mom should already be a
Yes, bro. My
should
mom
already
should
be a
already be a
viewer.
viewer, but ठीक है कोई बात नहीं. My mom was one of our earliest viewers. Episode 1, she was one of the first 5 people to watch. ठीक है कोई नहीं.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's
enough
good.
about that side of things. I know we've been hyping up one episode where we are going to do lots of research and all, और हम बोल रहे हैं 2-3 एपिसोड की से अगले एपिसोड पे वो होगा.
The guests are not responding
The
right
guests are
now.
not really responding. It's a busy time for everyone. But ये थोड़ा ट्रेंड बन गया है अपने पॉडकास्ट का कि गेस्ट रिप्लाई नहीं करते. तो हम हाइप ही नहीं करेंगे. अगला एपिसोड
The
बोरिंग
thing
होगा.
is, the thing is, we are not famous enough right now. ठीक
हाँ
है?
तो आप कर
So
दो हमें वायरल.
आप हमें फेमस करो. हम गेस्ट ले आएंगे. आप फेमस कर दो हमें.
भाई आप फेमस करो.
बस.
हम लाएंगे रॉसी. हम लाएंगे वर्स्टापेन.
भाई
हम लाएंगे
मैं
न्यूई.
उनको मैं अपने बगल में बैठाऊंगा. मैं अपने बगल में बैठाऊंगा चांदनी चौक में उसको.
आजा मैक्स बेटा आजा.
चाचा के साथ करवाऊंगा उसको पॉडकास्ट में.
ये बात मैं बुलवाऊंगा मैक्स वर्स्टापेन से मादरचोद.
हाँ भाई.
चलो
ओके.
cool. That is it for today. I think we're done.
बाय
Bye
बाय.
bye. Thank you for watching and see you next week.